Okay, 16.5 is all about partnerships, literally just the association of two or more people who are going to carry on a business together as co owners, right? It could be more than two people. There is a Uniform Partnership Act that is adopted by most states that determine, okay, how are partnerships going to be formed and governed, and what are the regulations going to be for these partnerships. 16.5.1 is about general partnerships, two or more persons for the purpose of carrying on a business, nonprofit as co-owners. You should know that a person is an individual, partnership, or corporation, or other association. So the partnership itself could be formed from two other corporations or two other partnerships, right? It could be two businesses coming together to form a partnership. 16.5.2 deals with partnership agreements, just like everything. As a lawyer, I deal with issues often where two parties have not formed a partnership agreement, or it hasn't been very well thought out, and then the partnership fails, and now it's left to litigation. It's left to sort out. I mean, it's like literally like a business divorce, and that becomes an issue that law offices have to deal with quite frequently if they do stuff for business clients. 16.5.3 deals with financial structure. So we're going to we're going to want to know, okay, is this going to be formed as a corporation, or is it just kind of a basic partnership? What are the contributions of the individual members? Is each partner going to put up $10,000, $100,000? And what are they going to get in return for that? And how are they going to share in the profits and losses, right? I own two companies. I have a law firm and a real estate company. My law firm is a 70-30 partnership. So my partner owns 70%, I own 30%. Okay, so that means of all the profits, I'm entitled to 30% of them, but also all the losses, I'm susceptible to 30% of them. My real estate business, I own 51%. My partner owns 49%. Same deal. That's a lot more. Practically, that 1% doesn't matter that much. I mean, it's much more like a 50-50. Okay. 16.5.4 is the commencement of existence. It's literally just documents that you would have to file with the state, or just an agreement that you make between the parties, and then making sure in that first year you file what's called a K-1 return with the IRS, which is a partnership return that determines the profits and losses in the percentages that we just talked about. 16.5.5 is the ownership of partnership property. So what happens if your partnership is a construction company and you own some construction equipment? Who owns that stuff? Does the partnership own it? Does each partner own it individually? That stuff would need to be worked out and determined, and it's things that a lawyer would help somebody think through. Partner's liability, 16.5.6. Okay, who's liable in the case of losses? Who's liable for damages? Who's liable if we get sued? Is it going to be based on the same percentages that we talked about for profits and losses? 16.5.7 is all about tax returns. Like I said, you're going to have to file tax returns for the partnership, and then those numbers that get filed with the partnership return or the K-1 return need to be reflected in each of the partners' personal income tax returns. Okay, that way they can track that stuff. 16.5.8 is all about dissolution. What happens to dissolve the partnership? What is the process for doing that? Do parties get paid back? What happens moving forward? If we dissolve the partnership but it's still a profitable company, does one partner have to buy out the other? I dealt with one of these earlier this year where one partner was buying out the other partner. And we set up a structure for which these payouts would happen. $20,000 this month, $50,000 the next month, and until that partnership interest that the one partner had was paid off, and then that dissolved the partnership, and then the other person was left owning the business all by themselves. Okay. Classification of partners. So there's what we call a silent partner. They really have no active part in it. They're just a financial partner. There is sometimes let's think of a good way to phrase this. There's sometimes a case where somebody's been holding themselves out as a partner of the company. They've been telling people that they're a partner in a company, and if they do something, they may be determined a partner by estoppel, which means they may be liable for the same losses or damages that a partner would be liable for, even though they're not technically a partner, just because they've been telling people that they were. And usually there's what we call an equity partner. That is somebody who has rights to the profits and losses. And then there's what's called a nominal partner. That is somebody whose name is in the partnership, but they may not have those same rights in that way.